next speaker is HALA Abu Arraj. And HALA is actually has been an acting registrar at the American University of Beirut since August 2017. She has worked in higher education and student services for 22 years. HALA graduated with a PhD in political science from the Lebanese University in November 2017. And she is going to talk about individual factors affecting administrative innovation in Lebanon. So it is a specific case for Lebanon.
Yes,
Go on,
it
HALA.
is.
The floor is yours.
I'm going to tackle innovation from a behavioral aspect. As Mr. Chairman just said, that this study is a part of my PhD dissertation completed in November 2017. Therefore, I represent myself. I don't represent any official authority. Without administrative development, the bureaucracy cannot keep up with social and economic challenges. As put in the SDGs, innovation advances the technological capabilities of industrial sectors and prompts development of new skills. So my presentation will concentrate on the innovation among the Lebanese civil servants in order to play a forceful role in Lebanon's social and educational development during the coming decades. This presentation has two objectives. The first objective is to provide an empirical assessment of the innovation level among civil servants in Lebanon. And the second objective is to test the impact of factors such as age and education on bureaucratic innovation. So mainly there are three questions, research questions that this presentation will have to answer. First, the first question is what factors are associated with higher levels of behavioral innovation? Question number two, does age and education affect behavioral innovation? And the third question, how can behavioral capacity be strengthened? For this reason, innovation was measured using 5 indicators. The first indicator is the level of creativity among employees. The second indicator is the level of risk-taking. The third indicator is the predisposition of employees to accept new ideas. The fourth indicator is the predisposition of employees to challenge traditional values. And the fifth indicator is the predisposition of employees to be involved in creative decision-making. So trying to answer the first question, actually, before I start this, I should say that the data was collected. I did a survey in September 2016, which was administered to public civil servants in Lebanon, and I collected the results. So the results showed that there is a low level of innovation among the employees. There was a moderate level of creativity. There was a low level of risk-taking, a low level on being involved in creative decision-making. Employees do not accept, they are reluctant to accept new ideas. However, what was surprising is that they were willing to engage in social change. In answering the second question, whether there is a relationship between age and innovation and between education and innovation, well, it turned out that there is an inverse relationship between age and innovation. Results showed that as age of employees increase the level of creativity, challenging new ideas, creative decision-making, taking risky decisions decrease. However, there was a direct relationship between education and innovation. So the more educated the employees, the higher the innovation levels were among Lebanese civil servants. So there was a direct relationship between the level of education on the one hand and between the level of risk-taking, challenging traditional values, creative decision-making, on the other hand. So basically, how can this this low innovation among employees be explained? First of all, concentration of authorities is in the hands of the upper management in Lebanon. Mainly because managers are compensating for the lack of skilled workers. I collected this information based on interviews from managers in the public sector. So this leaves the higher administration overburdened with routine work and unable to concentrate on strategic goals. And also, this tends, so subordinates also, they tend to avoid decision-making and they tend to delegate decisions to their subordinates. And second, there are cultural impediments influencing innovation, which preside mainly in the attitudes and predisposition that employees bring to their work. The Lebanese society is a traditional society where achievement does not emanate from internal drive, but rather from family and sect, especially in the public sector. Since innovation is a prerequisite for achievement, then employees might not be as innovative as their Western counterparts, especially that change is not accepted easily in our culture, in the Lebanese culture. So basically, regarding the conclusions, there are three conclusions that can be relayed. First of all, the public service needs more work and enhancements to keep on providing social services for an increasing population in the future. And some of the deficiencies of the bureaucracy, they find their roots in the culture of Lebanon. And third, that on a more optimistic point, on a more optimistic tone, recruiting young and educated employees based on their competency levels may alleviate the behavioral problem and may lead to improved performance. And finally, some recommendations in order to improve innovation. First of all, wages and salaries, I think they should be increased to the point of having an adequate standard of living, as well as it is a prerequisite for the recruitment of good employees. And the government has taken a step towards this, and the salaries in the public sector have been more or less been adjusted. Second, recruitment should stress quality in the public sector. Recruiting people with high growth needs should be the target. And thirdly, some employees are willing to take responsibility, and I think that supervisors must cater to their needs in order to stay motivated on the job. Here we're talking about the intrinsic values. And fourth, I think that employees, an efficient employee is an updated employee. Employees should be involved more in training, attending training, workshops related to their fields of study. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
short.
That's very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think it's really inspiring because, I mean, we used to hear about, civil service and lack of innovation, but we never had, a scientific evidence for that. I know your evidence may not be generalized everywhere, but there are so many countries in the world like Lebanon, which I think countries in the developing world in particular need to take care of that and take note of it and act upon it, because without efficient and innovative civil servants, as if you are actually driving a motorcycle with one wheel. So I think it's very important. Thank you very much.
So please remember, if we all help and do a little bit, it will make a big difference.